is Pedro Gómez-Egaña. I am 42 years old and I am a visual artist based in Norway now. I was born in Colombia, but I left when I was 17 years old. I was a violinist from the age of 6, and I had a scholarship to study violin at a conservatory in the US. But I injured myself, and that meant that I had to immediately reevaluate everything in my life. My career was over, which was extremely shocking and painful. So that moment became somehow the beginning of a series of questions that have brought me somehow to who I am today in my career. So then suddenly I moved to London at the end of the 90s, which was an extremely interesting and exciting place to be. And I said, yeah, but the problem with committing to a postgraduate studies is that you have to say, I'm in this field. And I feel that somehow what is interesting for me right now is precisely that I have questions and perspectives that have to do with music, that have to do with visual arts, that have to do with performing arts. And someone was like, aha, Norway. In Scandinavia in general, these kind of practices are pretty welcome. And then they mentioned Bergen and the Academy of Art in Bergen as an excellent place for this, to develop this kind of practice. I was like, all right. And you know, it took maybe a few weeks or a month from me knowing nothing about Norway to me living in Bergen and starting the program. I arrived in 2006, and now I am professor of sculpture and installation. Kulturrådet has the kunstnerassistentordningen. That is a strategy for pairing artists so that they can have conversations and they can engage really intensely. So for the kunstnerassistentordningen, I was working with Kobie Nel, who is a young artist based in Bergen. She was also my student for a couple years. And we said, why not? Let's try it. And it's also a way of supporting Kobie's work now that she has recently graduated. So the strategy in this assistantship is much more than, you know, satisfying the delegation of work. It's really about this very space that in practices like visual arts, it's sacred. It's fundamental. When you're an artist working professionally, it's very hard to find these moments and these dialogues that don't just happen here and there, but that are continuous. So to have this accomplice, this partner for a whole year, it's a real privilege. I have to say that I leave this believing more than ever in these kinds of constellations where you very intensely collaborate with colleagues, and where you discuss, when you research, when you experiment, and when you exercise your thinking with colleagues, and that you kind of risk together. This has been a really interesting experience in that sense.